Welcome along once again. You could be watching the Bold is Best masterclass on the other channel, but you're here with us, and we greatly appreciate that. Welcome along once again to the Third and Long podcast. My name is the Welsh Wizard, the incomparable Shane Harris. Above me this week, the podcast OGs, Oliver Butler-Henderson and our beautiful baby Hope. Conspicuous by his absence is Mr. Philip Perrins. Rumour has it he's watching TNS somewhere. Just from me, Phil, to you directly, I hope they get battered. So how are you, baby? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to another good weekend of sport, not just football. There's not just American football, there's football, Formula One, basketball's back. There's a lot of sport to watch this weekend.
Have Bolton got a game?
Yeah, they're playing somebody.
Oh, should be an exciting contest.
OBH, I mean he calls himself a Bolton fan. He doesn't even know who they're playing.
How are you, OBH? You okay?
Always, mate. Always. Broken toe, but I'm fine.
Broken toe? How do you manage that?
I think I've done it when I've stubbed my toe going up the stairs.
Oh, see, that's got to be a killer at your age. That must really hurt.
You're like literally 2.5 years younger than me, so you get like that.
You guys are both boomers, so.
Speaking of age, right? I felt the hangover today for my obviously couple of beers for my birthday yesterday, and then a couple more, and then a couple more, and yeah, I mean the hangover was real today. I must be feeling my age at 39. It was murder. I was no good to nobody today.
Okay,
I mean,
boomer.
some people say there's no difference, mate, but hey.
All right then. Okay, where are we starting this week?
Let's start with your lot, which I lost. Where's the banner? Oh, there it is.
Yes, please.
I'll sort it up. I'll sort it. There we go. Right. There you go. Right. Let's start with Monday Night Football with the Ravens. I would say domination, but it's a hell of a game between them and the Buccaneers. Mr. Harris will give us the review on that one in a minute. The Cardinals defeated the Chargers with a last-second field goal. It was last second field goal against the LA Chargers. Not the best of the two games of that night. It was a defensive masterclass with a couple of interesting plays at about best. But let's roll on to Mr. Harris and his Ravens.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oliver Butler-Henderson. So there was 72 points shared between the two teams in Raymond James Stadium on Monday night as the Ravens went to 5-2 by defeating the Buccaneers 41 points to 31. For those of you at home who can see what I have on the number 44 jersey. That is, of course, Marlon Humphrey's number 44, who picked off Baker Mayfield twice on Monday night.
Size.
Oh!
Didn't he also get injured?
Yeah, he came off with a knee injury. Yeah, he came off, but he's fine apparently. So as I said, he picked off Baker twice, and Lamar Jackson threw for 5 touchdowns Monday. I mean, again, this Ravens team hasn't lost in 5 games, and we can say that the Chiefs game at the beginning of the season could have been differently if Likely could have kept his foot in. So we basically went toe-to-toe with the so-called best team in the NFL. We lost to the Raiders, but again, any given Sunday. So there's an argument to be made. We are probably the best team in the AFC, if not the whole entire NFL. And Derrick Henry,
there's an NFC team that'll argue that, mate.
As I said, an argument can be made. Derrick Henry scored again for like his 9th. I think it's something like... he scored every week. Every game we've played, he scored. It looks like he's going to be money well spent. Lamar Jackson was 17 for 22, 281 yards, and again, threw for 5 touchdowns and no picks this week, which is nice to see.
That throw to Bateman for the touchdown was a good one.
I'm not being funny, but I've been one of Rashad Bateman's biggest critics to the fact that he was picked as our first choice overall a few years ago. We waited for him to come out, and it looks like he's basically in where he basically is where he needs to be now. He was only targeted 4 times, but he caught the ball all 4 times and went for 121 yards.
So on the one where Lamar rolled right and went to Bateman, there were about 4 Ravens players around him, and none of them blocked. If they blocked, it would have been a touchdown.
I'm not saying our team's perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Plays will be made in error and things could have been better. But at the end of the day, we still put up 41 points on a very good Buccaneers team who put 51 up against the Saints a week before.
Yeah, but I think it's important to remember that, well, not remember, but I think we need to mention that both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin did get injured in this game.
That's so sad. That's so sad. I mean Mike
Chris
Evans
Godwin,
got injured on a
Chris Godwin is at his age.
It could be his last play in the NFL, and he's a free agent at the end of this year.
The guy, yes, he's 28, so he's still got plenty of life left.
No, I didn't realize he was that young.
Yeah, I know. He's been around for 8 seasons now. This is his 8th season. Always at Tampa, always played at Tampa. But yeah, it's a dislocated ankle, done for the season. The one thing is his contract is up at the end of the season from Tampa, which is a harsh reality. And you can see what it meant to Baker as well. He slammed his helmet down on the ground out of frustration and upset for his team. And I said on when I dropped TikTok the other day that you could see the maturity and the growth in Baker from when he came into the league in 2016, maybe 2017, to where he is now. There's this maturity and this growth and this leadership around him now, and it's a good thing to see. But he's still got that dog and that fight in him, and the Baker that we love.
Yeah, and I believe Mike Evans has a hamstring injury that will have him out till about week 11.
4 weeks. Which is about 3 games. I mean, I'm not. Okay, you've got Chris Otton, Cade Otton. He's a good tight end. You've got Trey Palmer, Sterling Shepard, Sean Tucker. There's not a bad secondary, like backup wide receivers and tight end, but they're not Chris Godwin and they're not Mike Evans. Mike Evans guarantee you 1,000 yards every week, every season. Sorry,
but he also did catch his 110th touchdown pass. And I think he was only the 12th player to do that.
I thought it was the 8th, but I may be wrong on that one. But yeah, it's ridiculous. He is a walking Hall of Fame. He is ready to be in that Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I just hope it doesn't. Hopefully, it won't affect Tampa too far because they're 4-3. They're in a really competitive NFC South at the moment, where anyone of them could win and anyone of them could finish bottom of that group.
Apart from the Panthers.
No, that's not true. Apart from the Panthers. So anyone could win that group and anyone could finish third in that group.
I'm actually going to disagree with that too. I think the Saints are pretty much locked in third. But yeah, I'm surprised it's so that division actually has 2 good teams in it, because a lot of people see it as the dumpster fire of the division of the NFL, like the NFC East used to be. But
I mean, when you say good teams, they have competitive. That's a good way to put it. They have good rosters, but there's something that's always wrong with them. On both teams. Atlanta have never been the same since they lost in the playoff in 2018. In the Super Bowl 2018.
No,
when they played 16.
It was a 2017 Super Bowl.
Yes, it was 2018. So ever since they played us, they lost to us in the Super Bowl. They've never been the same, and they are starting to recover from it. They're still recovering from it, despite having this wealth of talent that's in this roster, that they got the roster, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and their secondary is second to none. Yet they are 4-3, 5-2. Where they should be a lot better than they actually are.
Well, gentlemen, let's put it like this now, right? This Bucks offense is now going to be toothless, I think. And ironically enough, the next game they have is Sunday against the Falcons.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, it's that's going to be a really
heavy dose of Bucky Irving.
100%. Speaking of Bucky Irving, they only managed to put up 125 rush yards against the Ravens on Monday night, whereas Ravens again had 264 passing yards, 244 rush yards for a total of 508. So as you can see, we're going back to this 2-headed rushing attack in Baltimore. And but Baker did have more passing yards than Lamar, which is expected, 356. So they had a total of 481 yards on offense.
Can we not talk about rushing until Can we not talk about rushing until McCaffrey comes back, please?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how your game is handled on the weekend when the world famous San Francisco 49ers take on a very underwhelming Dallas Cowboys team. Sorry, Flick, my old buddy, I had to say that.
I mean, you could say both teams are very good at the minute, but yeah.
I definitely second that. Both teams have their superstar wide receiver that they paid a lot of money. That ours is out. Theirs is basically irrelevant. So, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
CeeDee Lamb will probably could go put 100 yards on us now, and Flicks come straight in with cheers.
Of course, she have. I knew she was watching.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to this game. It wasn't the best of first half. It was 10-7
and now
at
she
half
said,
time.
I mean, Cowboys are the best.
She's always been a bit had a weird taste, hasn't she?
I'm not going to say anything. I mean, it was 17-10 at half. I was 17-10 at half time, and then it was like literally a blitz in the second half. I mean, you basically won that game in the second and third quarter. Did you rest your starters in the last quarter?
It's scary, isn't it? It's terrifying. We conceded 21 points in the last quarter. I think the Raven defense fell asleep. They brought in Dean Pease to assist first-year defensive coordinator Zach Orr to sort of, and make his transition to being a defensive coordinator, an easier transition. But still, we still managed to concede 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And the scariest thing is, that's not the first time that's happened. We're like blind dog walkers. We struggle to hold on to a lead sometimes.
The Niners did the same thing, bringing in Brandon Staley to try and help first-year DC Nick Sorensen.
Exactly. It's a case of people sort of do struggle to make that transition to very important, more important coaching roles.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right.
Should have brought Robert Saleh, but he's gone to the Packers.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a consultant for the Packers.
I must have missed that.
Right. Let's roll on to players of the week.
Yes.
But he's going to return it here. Over the 15, he's got some space now. He's over the 40, pumped at the beat, he's gone. Parker Washington, Wembley Stadium on its feet. And Jacksonville get the punt return touchdown. Spectacular stuff in London. Brilliant return from Parker Washington. And look at Doug Peterson's face.
Special teams is for special players, for special moments like this.
Toss State the first, so Cincinnati and Joe Burrow is going to get the football to begin. Dustin Hopkins does the honors, and we're off and running here in Cleveland. Charlie Jones going to play it, got a half step inside his own end zone, and he's got a seam. Jones, Hopkins unable to beat him, and here we go. Way. Jones, one man to beat him, and he is in.
Here they come with the blitz. You got to stay in field goal range if you're Stroud. He throws it, and the ball is caught. What a catch by Hutchinson.
High snap, drops it, in trouble, runs into his own man, then loses the ball, and it's picked up again by Cody.
I love on that video when J Bell channels his inner Gary Neville with that scream.
Yeah, I mean, so Ollie chose the Parker Washington punt return. Cheers for that. But did
you say punt return then, or did you say something else? Because I heard something else.
No, I definitely did say punt with a P, not a C. Just to let everyone know, TNS are now leading against Astana.
Don't.
Phil's going to be incredibly happy there in the stands. There's only 20 fans out there. So going back to the Parker Washington punt return. Ollie chose it. Yeah, fair enough. It was a great play. I hated it at the time. It was a great play. But the reason I chose the Dan Fletcher commentary, because I think this guy gets a lot of flack from the NFL fans. I actually think he's a bloody good commentator. And I watched the NFL stuff when back at home when on the ITV when they do it, and he's very good. He knows obviously he's got his script sheets in front of him. He knows he's learning the game same as all of us. He understands the routes. He understands the plays. He's a good commentator. It's just people don't like him because he's not American. That's my feeling on it. But I think Darren Fletcher's a bloody good commentator, and he does really well with when he does it over here in the UK for ITV.
Just moving on to the other player, I was just going to say, Ollie, is Charlie Jones the wide receiver that you were really high on a couple of years ago?
Yeah, from Purdue.
Yeah.
I think like people don't like him again because he's not American, because it's predominantly an American sport. I say predominantly, it is an American sport. I think like people don't like him, the hardcore fans, the football snobs don't like him because I think they don't like the fact that he dumbs it down for an inexperienced audience. Because let's face it, if it's on ITV on a Sunday afternoon, you're going to get people that are not hardcore fans. It's just they can't afford Sky. Exactly, right? But they're just going to watch it because it's on, so it'll need to be dumbed down. Whereas you watch Sky Sports NFL, you're obviously paying for the service to watch the games.
Yeah. So these two games have been shown on ITV over the weekend. The first UK game and this UK game. Those two and the Super Bowl are only these games that are on terrestrial TV over here. So the guys, the people who are listening from on board, majority of our TV channels that watch NFL are pay-per-view, shall we say, is the best way to describe it in their way. It's a channel which we've got to pay for. And there's only 3 times at the end.
It's effectively on cable, what they call cable.
So there's only 3 times where it's free viewing, where you get to see the whole game and all the build-up and all that. We get a half an hour highlight show once a week, or an hour and a half highlight show.
We don't even have that anymore.
So whenever we get this, it has to be dumbed down because these people 9 times out of 10 will only be watching the Super Bowl, or they're only going to be watching it whenever it's on TV, on normal terrestrial TV.
Just an example of that. I have a friend who only watches the Super Bowl, and every year I just get bombarded with questions over Facebook Messenger.
How does it work? What's this do? How's that? Yeah.
I remember this year I got a message. What does go for 2 mean?
So, Ollie, reason why you chose Parker Washington punt return?
Well, it was the longest touchdown in the history of the International Series. I got to see it live. It happened against the Patriots, and it was an incredible play.
And it literally, his dive backwards, I was probably the end zone away from him.
I realized that was they ended right in front of you too.
Yeah,
because I know where you sit. Because I sat next to you last year.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Wait, Ollie, can I ask a question really quickly? Have you ever seen your team win a game when you've been there? Because you went to New England to watch them against us and they lost. You went Sunday just gone, they lost. You went to Germany. Wait, in Germany?
Yeah, he did.
2014 when they beat the St. Louis Rams at that point.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure they've won a few times in England.
They beat the Buccaneers over here twice. No, the Buccaneers they won 5 games over it. No, played 5 games over here and won 3 of them.
I mean, I've never seen the 49ers lose, but
I've never seen Ravens lose either. So
but I'm more than 1 for 1. At least I'm 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Two for 5.
No, more than that. They've won 3. They played 3 games over here prior to this week. This is the first time in 10 years, mind you. So they played in 10, definitely 10 and 14, because they played the Buccaneers and they played the Rams.
That's the 2 games. That's the 2 wins I gave you. You lost in New England, lost in Germany, lost in the weekend just gone. 2 for 5.
Yeah, well, never mind. Right, I took the Charlie Jones kick.
It was the first round.
Ollie already says that I really like that guy. I think he's a bloody good player anyway, and I was high on him when he came out of college. But just over 100 yards, a stepper back into the end zone, and he took it to the house. It's a great play, and to mention that was the first play of the game.
Yeah, it was the first play I saw when I was watching in the car on the way home.
It's ridiculous. Mr. Harris, you took Xavier Hutchinson's catch on 2 minutes 50 towards the end when Texans were chasing the game.
I did, yeah. I mean, talking about important catches, they were chasing the game towards the end there. Unfortunately, they didn't get the job done. But that was an incredible catch. As soon as I saw it, again, like I always do, I put in our group chat, I'm taking that. Because I thought it was a brilliant catch. How he managed to stay in bounds and make the catch was phenomenal. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Catches like that are the reason we love the sport, because it's such exciting moments, of genuine skill to keep yourself in bounds. Those toe taps are amazing. Yeah, definitely Xavier Hutchinson, fantastic catch.
Mr. Perrins took the last play.
There wasn't much skill in that play, was there?
No, because the reason he chose it was carnage. That's the pure reason. I mean, stupidity, unskillful, but fair play to the big guy, scooping up and running it in for 55 yards. That was his second touchdown of the game for defensive back. And probably the only decent thing of that game that happened, really, because it wasn't exactly a brilliant game on Monday night at all. Right, let's roll over to players of the week. Shane, you would like to take Brian Branch first, my friend?
I would, yes, indeed I would. He was on our Player of the Week voting last week because he had a monster game last week as well. And this week, he's just becoming he's basically becoming Hutch's stand-in as the best defensive player in Detroit. And this is his second season. And he was a promising rookie this last season, but the fact is, he's undroppable now. At the minute, he's playing monster lights out football, and I mean, all he did was make 4 tackles, and he picked off Sam Darnold as well. But it's not just a case of right place, right time. It's a case of he's actively looking to dive in midair and take the ball away from the receiver. I just think he's an absolute beast, and he's playing his best football that we've ever seen him play, and I just think he's fantastic. And as soon as I said to you, you asked me who I was taking, first thing I said to you was, is Brian Branch taking? Because I'm surprised nobody else took him, because he's been playing, as I said, lights out football. And so, yeah, I'm happy to take Brian Branch this week.
He is, I would say, an outside shout for Defensive Player of the Year at the moment.
Yeah,
I'd
say that.
Playing superb. Mr. Hope, you took Beanie Bishop.
Beanie Bishop Jr. of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Did you have to?
Yes, just to annoy you, Shane.
Thanks, bud.
I mean, he made 6 tackles, 5 solos, and also, which is why I picked him, picked off Aaron Rodgers twice. And after the game, he was asked what he was going to do with the balls, and he said he was going to get Rodgers to sign them. And I believe Rodgers obliged.
Yeah, he seemed to mellowed in his old age. Brady, I remember Brady doing it. One of his players he got picked off, and the player goes, "Can you sign this?" And he goes,
Yeah,
of course.
Different.
I believe Rodgers signed both of the balls for Beanie Bishop Jr. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
So he's my player of the week.
Yeah, well,
cool.
Right.
My player of the week. This guy is
Brian Thomas Jr.
No.
Tank Bigsby.
Shut up. This guy is outside bet, probably for most of you, but for a lot of people, I would say his favorite for MVP at the moment. His passer rating in the last 3 weeks have been 155, 153, and 140.
Are you picking Jared Goff again?
He's thrown for over 600, 700 yards, 800 yards in the last 3 games. Yeah, it is Jared Goff. 22 from 25, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. 140-yard passer rating, QBR rating of 87.3. This guy is leading, in my opinion, the race for the MVP at the moment.
So we've done Player of the Week for 7 weeks, yeah?
Yes.
How many times have you not picked Jared Goff or Jaden Daniels?
I know.
I've picked Daniels twice and Goff twice. Because I generally do think these two are being outstanding this season.
Just have any of you started watching the LSU documentary with Jaden Daniels?
Not yet, no. I'm
I'd
currently
recommend it
watching
on
Starting
Prime.
Five.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching that too, but I think the Jaden Daniels thing is better. It's more
Right.
interesting in my opinion.
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
our good friend who's currently at TNS, shows your number 8. Would you like to give him your stats and his details, please?
Yes, of course, with great pleasure. My old buddy, my consigliere, my brother from another mother, Mr. Philip Perrins, did go for Baltimore's under center quarterback number 8, Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Wait, I thought he was a running back.
We thought about this. He threw for 5 touchdowns Monday night against the Bucks. Come on, he's getting back to his MVP form, I like to think. I mean, he's 2-time former MVP. So it's not unheard of for him to be in the conversation.
Yeah, he's got the same amount of MVPs as playoff wins, right?
Oh, fuck. Sorry, that one slipped out. You may need to edit that one and put that one on the cutting room floor. But yeah, I said, yeah, he played phenomenally well. I mean, I wish you'd let me know before you basically picked on me to give Phil's thing out because I haven't got the stats.
I thought you would have had it before because we did the game earlier. I have his stats. I have Lamar's stats in front of me. 17 for 22, 281, 5 touchdowns. Passer rating 158.1, which is apparently perfect. He rushed 9 times for 52 yards as well. He got sacked twice. He's not very good if he gets sacked twice.
Oh, no, let's play the O-line, right? And let's play this way. We've got Cleveland next. Cleveland, who don't even have a serviceable quarterback. I mean, they got the world famous pastry chef, famous Jameis, starting for them on Sunday. Imagine how many turnovers he's going to put up.
Is it famous Jameis or is it
Donovan Peoples' son? DTR.
No, it's Jameis. They've announced it.
Oh,
yes,
Jameis,
okay. Sunday. So yeah, season's ours. But as I said,
the turnover machine.
Play of the week.
Definitely. Right. You ready, gentlemen?
This is the news in 60.
Yeah, news in 60. Quick roundup. Tua is to return to football this week. His first game since week 2 after a severe concussion. Lions wide receiver Jameis Williams is facing a 2-game ban for violating the NFL's PES policy for taking flu tablets. That's what he's got done for.
Taking flu tablets?
Yep. The Chiefs have a depleted wide receiver room, so they go on and traded for DeAndre Hopkins from the Tennessee Titans for a 5th-round pick. If they win the Super Bowl, it gets traded up to a 4th. The Titans have also got around to sending Ernest Jones for linebacker Jerome Baker and a 4th-round pick from Seattle. Devin White is signed by the Texans after being a free agent since the back end of last season. Harrison Reddick has ended his holdout and decided holdout to the New York Jets by agreeing a new terms to his contract. The Saints have extended Alvin Kamara to a 2-year deal worth $24 million. And as we said a few seconds ago, Jameis Winston is to start for the injured Deshaun Watson. And that is this week's news in 60.
Thank you.
Right. I said pre-show we're going to start with Tua. I'm going to start with the reaction of the Cleveland fans towards Deshaun Watson. Right. Hear me out. I know everyone in this world thinks Deshaun Watson is a horrible person and despicable human being. Agreed. He is not a very nice person. But this guy went down with possibly one of the worst injuries you can get in the NFL, in any sporting career, with a snapped Achilles. He is on the cart, bawling his eyes out, towel over his head. You could see he is generally upset. I'm really hurt. And you've got your fans that you've played for the last 18 months, 2.5 years, cheering and celebrating that you've gone off injured. Cleveland, you deserve everything you bloody get to you. if you treat a player who's literally done that, I wouldn't care if it was someone like, say, for example, Josh Allen went down at Gillette Stadium, for example, and I was there, and you could see it was a nasty injury, like he's done something really, really bad. I would not boo him. I would stand up and clap. You clap him off. You do not cheer him as in, yes, that son of a person's off the pitch.
The only other time I can think of this is when it was the Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They announced Dak Prescott as the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, and all the Eagles fans booed.
Yeah, I mean that's just Philadelphia all over.
Yeah, but the fact that it wasn't he was a Cowboys player, he was there winning Walter Payton Man of the Year, and they still booed him.
It's ridiculous. I really don't.
I know it's not exactly the same, but
we've got a couple of bits of breaking news. Can I just jump in?
Sure.
Yeah, certainly.
Puka has been activated of injured reserve.
Ooh, okay.
And Jonathan Taylor and DeForest Buckner are both back in full practice for the Indianapolis Colts.
Is Cooper Kupp back tonight too?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, unlucky, mate.
What do you mean unlucky?
Haven't they got you in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, we have a bye before that.
They'll eke out result. They always do. Well, unless against the Chiefs.
I can't remember when we're playing them, but it's a few weeks. But we have a bye and some games.
Let me roll on to Tua. So Tua is back after serious concussion issues. It's his, fifth since he's been in the NFL? Third in 2 years?
Fourth, I think.
Third serious one in 2 years, and because he had 2 in a week.
Yeah.
He was asked in the press conference on Tuesday, might be Monday, are you going to wear a Guardian cap? No. Why? Personal choice. This is now where the NFL, Roger Goodell, has gone, tough bloody shit, mate. You've had a concussion. You're wearing the Guardian cap until the end of the season. Sorry, that's what. This is where the NFL have got to take a harder stance. Yes, I know these new the brand begins with V. I can't remember the name. We've got super duper technology, and he's one of the quarterbacks who wears them. But you've had serious concussions, 3 really bad concussions in 2 years, 2 in a week, and yet you're not even contemplating wearing the Guardian cap. It was a straight no.
I think if I was him, I'd wear a Guardian cap. If I was Tua, if I was in the NFL, 100%. I'd wear a Guardian cap. However, it is his prerogative.
No, I get that. And I know he's one of these quarterbacks who will rush and he will scramble and he will run around. So he is more likely to get hit. But at the end of the day, you do not want to be sitting there in a wheelchair, not being able to control your functions in 10 years' time because you've had multiple concussions in a short space of time. Tua is one of the most injury-hit people ever. He broke his hip in Alabama, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was that his penultimate year in Alabama or was it last year in Alabama? I
think it was last year.
You know, he's always looked skittish in the pocket anyway, at the best of times. Do whatever you can to protect your health. You know, it's not like you've broken an arm 4 times. Your brain has taken serious hits.
Yeah. I saw an MMA guy who was asked about it because he's also from Hawaii, and he was like, yeah, the number one thing you need to do is protect your brain.
And this comes from an MMA guy who literally, you're on the ground pounding out of each other until literally the ref goes, yeah, that's it, he's dead.
Yeah.
But he's not being funny. Like, it's not as if he needs the money. You know, why else? I understand that you don't want to leave the thing that you've dedicated most of your life to behind. But as you said, boys, like when is too much going to be too much? When is he going to, is he going to be able to control his motor functions from here on in? Andrew Luck retired at arguably his peak because of the same issue.
Getting too many hits, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I've heard both sets of arguments from both sets of players. Some going, admittedly, 90% of the players who no longer play in the league going, sorry, mate, you've got to be wearing a cap. These are the same people who said he should retire, mind you. I don't think anyone thought he was going to retire, to be fair. But this is where someone's got to step in and go, Tua, mate, I know you don't want to, but at least, 10 weeks, because 10, 11 weeks max, let's face it, he's not going to get past the divisional round in the playoffs, is he? Wear this hat. You never know. In time, it might get better, but for now, wear this cap, mate. Please just wear this cap. It's ridiculous. Baby, you want to talk about Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, it's just a quick thing about what happened last week. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the video, but Nick Sirianni, who admittedly I'm not the biggest fan of, went over to Saquon and said basically, I'm going to take you out, but you're 13 yards from your career high. Do you want me to leave you in? If you want me to leave you in, I will leave you in, and you can go and get those 13 yards, and effectively have your career high against the team that didn't want you anymore. And what did Saquon Barkley say? I want to see the young guys. I want to see the young guys eat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of him.
I mean,
so he could have taken the glory, but he said, "No, I'd rather see the young guys eat," which I thought was a touch of class from Saquon.
So a couple of added-ons to this. Yeah, that's a class mark, and it's really, really quality. Especially when they had his jersey being burnt by his former fans. People who cheered his name. I mean, me and Kelly were there in January, and they were cheering for him, shouting for his name. I saw so many people wearing Barkley jerseys.
Don't forget all the Giants D that have been yapping away too all week.
Yeah. And he goes, nah. I mean, if I was him, I'd go, hell yeah. I don't even want that. I want 200 rushing yards. Really shove it up there. Yeah. Mr. Harris.
Yes, you're saying that they were booing him like they treated him like dirt and kicked him out. If you watch Hard Knocks, the Giants Hard Knocks, like I have, you will know they tried everything they could to get a deal in place. And when they couldn't come to an agreement, basically the Giants GM said, right, okay, no worries. Test free agency, see what you can get, see if you can get a bag elsewhere, which is exactly what he did with Philadelphia. So you can't, there's no animosity.
The fact that they did sit there and the GM literally did say nobody's going to pay him $12 million, and then the Eagles did. I don't think they really tried that hard to get a deal in place, if I'm honest. Having also watched the Giants Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that as well. Yet
it was kind of they tried to put in a deal in place once they realized other teams were going to pay him what you wanted. Yeah. I saw that.
So the owner's come out today and has said that he doesn't anticipate a GM or coaching changes in MetLife for the Big Blue. So this GM has not only paid Daniel Jones, for me, who isn't even a backup starting worth quarterback, $40 million a year for 4 years. I think it's $40 million for 4 years. It might be even more than that off the top of my head.
It is $40 million.
He's let a top lineman go. He's let one of the best cornerbacks go to Packers and Xavier McKinney.
Yes.
And then you've gone and let Saquon Barkley go. How has this GM got a job? And what the hell has he got on the owner to keep him in this job? It is ridiculous. I'm not a Giants fan. Yes, I'm a massive OC fan. I got signed to the OC jersey. I'm not a Giants fan. They took 2 rings off us, in my opinion. How is it, but it's ridiculous. I don't get how this GM's got a job. You have literally set your franchise back 5 years minimum.
Do you think the Giants have been okay this season, though?
Jones.
Do you think I think Daniel Jones has been okay this season.
I wouldn't start Daniel Jones over Gardner Minshew. I wouldn't start Daniel Jones over Bailey Zappi.
Whoa, now. You can't be saying things like that. You wouldn't start him over Gardner Minshew. Excuse me.
If I had my quarterback with Daniel Jones, Bailey Zappi, and Gardner Minshew, Daniel Jones and Gardner Minshew would not be the starter.
Unbelievable.
I hope parents is going to listen back to this. Right. Last bit of news we really need to cover is the Chiefs trading for DeAndre Hopkins.
Bad trade.
I think it's a good trade when you look at the numbers.
Hopkins is past it.
Maybe, but look at the numbers they are paying for him. So it's a 5th round pick, which is nothing nowadays, which could turn to a 4th round pick if they win the Super Bowl.
George Kittle was a 5th round pick.
Yeah, well, yeah, shut up.
He also played for the lot.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a 5th round pick for a player who's done it. They needed something in there. This season they've lost Hollywood Brown, they've lost Rishi Rice, and they've lost Juju Smith now, including Pacheco. They went to get Kareem Hunt to replace Pacheco. They are in struggle in wide receiver. They've got Sky Moore, who's gone on IR today through some abdominal problems. They needed help in wide receiver room. This is an example of what a GM should do in football. He has a great way of getting deals. Doesn't leave them to literally the 11th hour to sign your best player to a literally stupidly high contract. Doesn't let your best players walk, as in the Patriots do. Doesn't sign your quarterback to a stupidly high deal when he's not overly worth it. Sorry, Shane.
That's not very nice.
Ooh.
I know. Boys, the evidence is there. He's just saying it just for reaction. That's all he's doing.
No, I'm saying it because I don't think any player's worth for what their amount they are. But, okay, he's got Lamar to a 10-year deal, $500 million. Okay?
That's Mahomes, not Lamar.
Mahomes, sorry, I mean. All right. They've restructured his deal 3 times since that's come out. He signed Kelsey to a good deal. He signed Harrison Butker to a good deal. He signed Chris Jones to a good deal.
Massive deal.
Yeah, but in the end of the day, it was good deals. And yet, he's kept this core round and he's managed to sign these players that they trust and they know. And they can do things like they brought Juju back for next to nothing. They've got DeAndre Hopkins for next to nothing. Tennessee Titans are paying for half DeAndre Hopkins' wages.
Yeah, I think it's $7 million each, isn't it?
I don't even think it's that much, to be fair. This is what a GM should do. And Chiefs need help in wide receiver. They need help on the offensive side of the ball because it's defense that's keeping them in games. Mr. Harris.
Boys, I absolutely hate this trade for every other team in the NFL, right? The richer getting richer, we all need to be scared. This 3-peat is very much on the table, and I don't like it at all. Baby's saying DeAndre Hopkins is washed, right? Okay, let's look at the evidence on it. Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But let me put it to you like this. He was in Tennessee with who was throwing to him? Mayo Boy and Ryan Tannehill. Come on. I can imagine what he's going to be like when he's got somebody like Mahomes passing the ball to him. I mean, he had Kyler in Arizona, and Kyler is probably top 10 at best quarterback. And when I say 10, I mean 10, 11, maybe 12. And that's where his legend grew in Arizona. He's going to have someone passing to him now who is potentially the best quarterback that we've seen of the last, say, 10 years. This is going to be scary, and we're all going to be at the mercy of the Chiefs again.
Yeah, but my problem is he's 118th in catches this year, 110th in yards, and he's only had 15 receptions this year. I think he's washed.
Let's be fair.
He's meant to be the WR1 in Tennessee.
Yeah, but when you go Will Levis throwing to you, it's not going to happen, is it? When he's, like I said, it remains to be seen. But I think he'll be a success. I really do.
Does Ollie know he's on mute?
No, I don't think he does.
I can see his mouth moving.
The problem is with Kansas at the moment is Mahomes isn't playing well. That offense isn't playing well. That offense is obliterated at the moment. And his defense is keeping them in games, as you found out on Sunday night, Ollie.
Yeah.
And yet, Mahomes has still had more interceptions than he has touchdowns, sorry.
Yeah.
So I can't see Chiefs going back again. They'll get it right and they'll fix it no matter what, because this is Kansas. They're going to. But there is teams in the AFC that are better than them at the moment. Okay, yes, they're unbeaten. They are the unbeaten team in the AFC in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said with Minnesota a couple of weeks ago, I think their record flatters to deceive.
Yeah.
They are a good team on the defensive side of the ball. Steve Spagnuolo is the best defensive coordinator in the league by a mile, and he has managed to scheme up schemes to keep them in games and winning them games. DeAndre Hopkins coming in is going to help Mahomes because he's got a veteran guy who's got safe hands. Yes, he hasn't got the elite speed he had once he was at Arizona, but he is still a good player. He can still be able to create separation. So I could still see this being a really good trade for Mahomes and for the offense in the long run. All right, that's enough for that week. Let's go on to week 8. Right, predictions time, chosen by our Mr. Perrins, who is unfortunately unwell. Baby Hope is leading the way on 20. Myself and Perrins is on 16, and Shano is on 14. Perrins has chosen this week Falcons at the Buccaneers, Jets at the Patriots, Dolphins at the Cardinals, and Bears at the Commanders. Baby Hope, as you are leading the way, would you like to give us the Falcons at the Buccaneers, please?
So Shane used a term earlier, which is, I think the Buccaneers' offense will be toothless.
Yeah.
Without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I agree. So I'm taking the Falcons to go into the AJ and win.
We said earlier on that it's going to be a run-heavy offense, going to run through Bucky Irvine, and Rashi White. I'm not sure the Atlanta defense is enough to stop it. I mean, they're a good passing defense. They're one of the best passing defenses in the league at the moment. I'm not sure their run defense is good enough. It's going to be closer than we think it is. I think Baker's the better of the two quarterbacks.
Better than Kirk.
I think Baker's better than Kirk at this moment in time.
Okay.
Not over at this moment in time that Baker's the better quarterback.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you, Baby Hope. I do think, and you, Shano, the Buccaneers passing game is absolutely obliterated at the moment. So it's going to be a Falcons win. Over to you, Mr. Harris.
There's an old expression, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. The Falcons cost me 60 quid last week because I had every other game correct. But as I'm going to have to go with them again because I don't think the Bucks are going to offer anything with Godwin and Evans out now. So, yeah, I've got to go with Kirk. And don't make me look stupid again, please, this week. Thank you very much.
Mr. Perrins has gone against us and gone for the Buccaneers.
Oh, okay.
Right, next up is my horrible lot against that horrible lot in New York who wear green. Baby Hope, would you like to go first, please?
So I watched Patriots last week at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, for the first quarter and the middle of the fourth quarter, they looked really good.
And for the rest of the time, they looked bloody awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets.
Shane, go first, please.
Go on, Matt. Go for it.
No, go for it, mate.
I mean, let's be fair. The Patriots couldn't beat an egg. You know what I mean? At the minute, they couldn't beat the carpet. You know, they couldn't walk the fell out of a boat. So you're gonna have to go for the Jets. Yeah, 100%.
Perrin has gone Pats. Okay.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is dealing with multiple injuries at the moment: hamstring, knee, being stuck in a dark room.
And he's still a better quarterback than Drake May.
Drake May has played 2 games. Aaron Rodgers has played 2 decades.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
There's a very big difference there, mate. There is a lot of issues in this New England team. 100%. A lot of stuff went on social media over the last couple of days. But we're going into one of the biggest rivalries in our division.
With a top 5 defense.
With
and
top 5 defense who has got a couple of things missing.
Flick said, I reckon the Jets will have a good game.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling Patriots might stun them, but I don't think it's enough for them to win.
So you're going Jets?
I'm going Jets.
You can't bet against your own team.
I need to catch you up.
Right. I went against my judgment last week for the Niners. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've gone for my head over my heart. My heart would go Patriots 110%, mate. We'll win it by 30 points. But
by 30 points.
I do say, though, hopefully all this rubbish has come out. I've listened to a lot of Patriots Unfiltered this week. I can see them. Something is either going to go tools down, fuck Rob Mayo, or is going to go, I'll tell you what, I'm not being called soft again. Bang,
yeah,
bang,
I don't think calling your team soft's a good way to go about things.
Not best motivational tactic, is it?
No. Right. Next up, Dolphins against the Cardinals. Baby Hope.
So Tua's back.
Yep.
Andy's actually in Miami at the moment, in case you guys.
Is he? Out more on the gas.
Yeah, he was sending me pictures of the Miami Heat arena earlier.
Oh,
but
so
I'm sorry, Andy doesn't have a great record of watching Miami win, as in he's never seen it.
No, that's very true.
And unfortunately for Andy, I think that trend is going to continue. I have the Cardinals. And I know Tyreek has said, we're to strike the effing band back up. We're back. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
strike up the effing band. We're back. He told his fantasy owners to start him this week, but we'll see.
So yeah, obviously Miami are going to be better under Tua. He is going to be rusty because he hasn't played in 6 weeks.
Hold on, did Ollie just give Tua a bit of a compliment?
Whoa!
Yeah, because look at what they're like without Tua.
Tim Boyle now, isn't it?
But I'm going with the curse of Andy that Cardinals are going to win. Mr. Harris.
So no.
Boys, I hate to say it. Sorry, Andy. We love you. We need to get you on a show at some point soon because we do miss your beautiful face. But at the end of the day, I mean, Kurt will love me saying this. Cards are going to beat the Dolphins. He's a big Cardinals fan. He loves Kyler. Yeah, Cardinals all day.
Nice. Last up, the battle of the number 1 and number 2 pick of this year's draft. The Bears at the Commanders. This is going to be a hell of a game.
Whoa, I like the sound of that.
Is this guy's game this week?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. The clocks do go back this Sunday, so the NFL starts at 5 as opposed to 6.
If you look at the next banner, it says 5 o'clock kickoffs.
Fine, whatever. It's also an audio podcast, by the way.
Yeah, that's very true.
When it works.
The Chicago Bears have looked better the past couple of weeks, but they absolutely blew away the Jags last week.
Yeah,
the Commanders are a lot better than the Jags. I'm taking Washington.
I'm going next then. So, go on, bud. Carry on.
No, I was just wanting Washington down. So when I do the actual things in a bit, they'll be there. So, depends if Jaden Daniels is fit or not.
Oh yeah, well that goes without saying.
Okay, yes, they still put up 40 points with Marcus Mariota under center. I mean, the Lincoln Titans could put 40 points up against bloody Carolina Panthers. So, but the Bears is a completely different opposition, and that defense is actually quite good. I really do like that defense in Chicago, so I am going to go for a Chicago win.
I may have to double down with OBH there. It all depends on if Jaden Daniels is fit or not. And that Chicago, I think that Chicago team as a whole aren't firing on all cylinders quite yet. I think when they do, teams want to sort of look out. I think Caleb, as soon as he settles into his groove, because let's be fair, they played a very poor Jags team last week. I think they're going to be a good team. So I'm definitely going to go with the Bears.
Can I change my pick if Jaden Daniels doesn't play?
No. You're running away with this as it is.
They have like an auto sub. Like if Daniels doesn't play, I go for the Bears.
Look, just because it's Paddy Power or Bet360 do it, whatever it is, but no.
Sleeper.
Speaking of, fairly shortly.
Right. Yeah, the Bears have split and started into the season, but like you said, they absolutely ripped Jacksonville away a couple of weeks ago in England. Absolutely blew them away at Tottenham. They looked brilliant. So
I think it was more Jacksonville looked bad, to be honest.
True, very true. Right,
Sorry,
over to the
Paul,
rest
you're
of the
watching.
games, gentlemen. Mr. Harris, who have you got? You've got Cleveland this weekend, haven't you, sir?
Yes, we do. Yeah, 5 p.m. kickoff in Old Blighty. Yeah, come on, boys. Let's be fair. The Browns are nowhere near as good as they were last year, and they weren't even that good last year. They had a top 2 defense, and this year they've just been poor and nondescript. And I think it's going to be a Ravens walkover. It's not going to be a win. It's going to be a hammering.
Agreed. And the 49ers have...
It's the Cowboys on SNF, and for some reason you've not put it down.
They double gamed it?
No.
Well,
so yeah, they said that'll be a
Monday Night Football
rivalry game.
Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah, it's Monday Night Football.
No, it's Monday 12:20.
So it's Sunday Night Football. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunday Night Football.
Wow,
I don't want to talk about the game. It's 2 bad teams playing against each other, to be honest.
I don't really want to talk. Yeah, we can't do that. Information. People tune in not just for opinions. They tune in for the information.
Is it a Levi? Yeah, it is.
We'll win, but it's 2 bad teams playing against each other.
I think it's
most interesting thing is going to be carry out a good song with the soft starts.
The problem is now, like, your offense is as beaten up as Tampa's.
Yes.
If not worse.
I disagree, because we have Debo and we have Jennings, who are 2 very good wide receivers. Debo's been discharged from hospital.
You haven't got Christian McCaffrey. You haven't got... Who's the other dude? There's someone else missing.
Elijah Mitchell?
No, wide receiver. There's another wide receiver. Anyway, doesn't matter.
No, Jennings is back. Jennings is back this week.
Oh, Jennings going to be back. Okay. So yeah, you have got a depleted team, and no matter what you say, your team is not the same without Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, I 100% agree. But the difference between us and Tampa is we still have Kittle, we still have Debo, who are still some of our star players on offense.
Oh,
I do think we'll probably win, because I think Purdy needs to prove that he's actually a serviceable quarterback after last week, but I think it'll be close, and I will be asleep and not watching it.
I mean, to be fair, him and Mahomes need to step up their games after last week.
Yeah.
Purdy, the second coming, needs to prove it. Fantastic.
I mean, he needs to prove that Brocktober will end with a bang.
Brocktober!
Jesus Christ, man. I tell you what, it's going to be a good game. Is the Eagles against the Bengals?
Yeah,
the Bengals
that's one that's piqued. That's one that's piqued my interest too.
You know, it's in Ohio. It's in Cincinnati. It should be a
Flicker said, I mean, the Cowboys are going to have a great game. Lol.
Let's hope so.
A great game for the Cowboys is if Dak doesn't throw about 5 picks. Though.
Great game is if they don't concede 40 points. Oh, no, they only do that in Dallas, don't they? That's it, yeah. Yeah, I think the Eagles-Bengals game is probably going to be the game of the week. It's definitely at the 5 o'clock game.
49ers might struggle, lol.
Yes, I love it. Tell him.
Cowboys might struggle too.
They won't.
Our defense isn't bad.
We've gone past your game now. We're on another game, okay?
Flick's bringing it back.
Yeah, but she's beating you in and you're snapping. I love it.
Wait. Yeah. So as I was saying, the Bengals are turning things around. Eagles' offense O-line is superb, and Barkley's going to eat again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting game, that one, because I'm not a big fan of Nick Sirianni. I think he doesn't do much as the actual coach of the Eagles. So, but Zach Taylor is a good coach. So I think it could be an interesting coaching battle between a coach that actually does stuff and a coach that just stands there.
Yeah, shouting at his own fans.
Yeah.
Any other games?
Shushing his own fans after winning.
As Shano said, the Cots do go back this Sunday, so that means games kick off at 5:00. It means I can watch that game and then I can watch the Grand Prix and Redstone at the same time, which is brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for that one. So let's have a quick chat about tonight's game. So we've got the Rams back with Nakua and Cooper Kupp tonight. I don't know how fit or how many snaps either are going to play. But it's interesting that they are playing tonight with this trade rumor that is going around at the moment.
The couple.
Have you heard? No. Matthew Stafford to the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, I have heard that.
So, I don't know what you guys like, but my socials, that's TikTok and Twitter, are full of this trade. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Who is it going to benefit?
I think it's Fugazi kind of. I don't think it's anything too concrete. It's a trade that benefits no one really, apart from maybe Stafford.
Well, Stafford's got a year left. I'd rather be in LA than bloody Minnesota.
Yeah, but he actually has Jefferson to throw to.
He's got Nakua and Kupp.
Yeah, I don't really like Nakua. But...
Boys, not being funny, but like in Minnesota, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Vikings are 5-1. The only reason they lost the game is because they come up against a very good Lions team and they didn't lose by that much. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why do you want to change or deviate from anything? As I've mentioned previously on the show a few weeks ago, the Vikings schedule looks quite soft. So they may end up with a very favourable record towards the end of the season, and I think they're getting into the playoffs handily. Why change it?
Don't get me wrong, Stafford is the better of the two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But you've got JJ McCarthy sitting there. Okay, yes, he's sitting there with his leg up at the moment because it's broken. But Sam Darnold is a good teammate, as Ollie found out last year. He is a good teammate. He's got screwed over by the Jets, who are a quarterback killer. I mean, they're killing Aaron Rodgers for crying out loud. I don't know if that's Aaron Rodgers or the organization, but doesn't matter. And then he went to Carolina Panthers, who have killed two quarterbacks in this season already, and they are absolutely destroying Bryce Young's career. Why would you not? I mean, yes, LA is exciting. Yes, they've got these two superstar wide receivers. They've got a great running back. But you're 2-4. If I was Donald, I'd be going, no, I'm staying here, cheers. I'm staying in the playoff bound team. I don't want to go there. And why would Stafford go, no, I want to stay here. It's warm here. I don't want to go up in the cold. My wife and kids are happy here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the trade happening, to be honest.
Yeah. So, as always, we run around to Shano, who is our resident gambling expert.
Thank you. I'm an expert in something. Very nice. Thank you very much.
I can't say what you're really an expert in, mate.
Oh, I know. We can't do that anymore, can we? Yeah. Welcome to another edition of Shano's Specials. As always, please gamble responsibly. I'm going to pull in my fellow gambling expert, Baby Hope, on these bets, just thinks and have his opinion on these ones. So I'm going to start with one for tonight's game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. These bets are with Paddy Power, by the way. Justin Jefferson for 100 plus receiving yards and to score a touchdown at any time is 7-2. What do you think, baby? How suspect is that Rams secondary?
The Rams secondary is suspect, but 7-2. What's that? That's 2.5, 3.5 to 1.
Yeah,
3.5 to 1. Yeah, it's not awful. I'm not 100% sure there's enough value there for me to back it because 100 yards is actually quite a lot.
That's why I mentioned the Rams secondary. Yeah, exactly. But he's Justin Jefferson. If he can't do it, who can?
Yeah, and the Rams secondary isn't great, so I think it's probably a decent bet. I've honestly not looked at anything for tonight yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's 7-2.
I think it's decent.
Okay, yeah, so that's 7-2.
I'll definitely consider putting it on.
Okay. I've gone for one then between the Eagles and the Bengals. Saquon Barkley to score anytime, and an Eagles win is 2-1. What do you think about that one with the Eagles, as we basically waxed lyrical about how good the Eagles have been and how inconsistent the Bengals have been, and Saquon seems to be scoring for fun at the moment? What do you think of that one?
The Bengals have won the last 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, I also think the Bengals are going to win.
Okay.
I like the Saquon to score anytime. He'll probably end up in my touchdown accurate.
I think that's evens, yeah.
But I do think Cincinnati are going to take the game.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a Cincy win. It's in Ohio, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, I think it's a Cincy win.
I don't know, but that'll remain to be seen on Sunday. And my last one for this week then does involve the world famous, and the Dallas Cowboys. It's all right, the Dallas Cowboys. George Kittle and Jake Ferguson, both starting tight ends for both teams, to combine for 150 plus receiving yards. What do you think about that one? That's 13-5.
I think Kittle will get targeted a lot due to the lacking of other 49ers offensive weapons. Jake Ferguson does seem to be one of Dak's favorite targets, so I don't think that's a bad bet at all.
I quite like Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson's a good tight end. He's getting more and more reps as the season goes on. He's got good hands. He is that next group of tight ends that are going to be taking over from Kittle, Kelsey, and Andrews.
My only worry is 13-5 is what, 2.3, 2.6
to 1 basically, yeah.
It's not that good odds. I'm not sure there's enough value there to make me want to risk my money.
No. I just thought it was an intriguing bet due to the fact that they're mentioning 2 tight ends and they're basically a quarterback's favorite targets.
Because the issue is sometimes Kittle gets loads of yards, sometimes Kittle doesn't get any targets, so it's hard to know.
Yeah. Like I said, and all those 3 bets are available now on Paddy Power. But once again, please gamble responsibly. OBH, take us home.
Yeah, as always, we will be back on your screens on Monday night. You'll be able to download this episode to your listening devices tomorrow morning, hopefully with sound. For some reason, the last episode didn't come out with sound, so I'm trying to fix that as the moment. Hopefully that'll come out with sound as well. So please download, listen to both of them. They are 2 really good episodes. Not blowing my own trumpet at all. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening, good night, and stay safe all.